Sister Wives Robyn Brown's ex offered big money to talk. Sister Wives fans know Robyn Brown holds a lot of animosity toward her first husband, David Preston Jessup. But since she maintains such a large platform, it's been difficult for him to tell his own side of the story. Instead, David Preston Jessup has lived in relative obscurity. His family members have attempted to speak out against Robyn and defend him. More recently, one Sister Wives expert claims that various news outlets have attempted to contact Jessup and get his personal account. But for the time being, Jessup has chosen silence. Read on to get the scoop. Robyn Brown's first husband has maintained his silence. As many Sister Wives fans know, David Preston Jessup has been battling cancer. His personal health struggles certainly take up a lot of his time and energy. So many fans understand why he isn't eager to invite more drama into his life. But there might be more to the story. On the Sarah Fraser Show, the hostess dug into the topic of David Preston Jessup. Robyn Brown doesn't speak about her ex-husband on the show much. But back in the day, she did her absolute best to paint him in the worst light possible. This sparked the storyline where Cody insisted he needed full parental custody of Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna. The children are all adults now. So why doesn't Jessup speak up and share his own side of the story? According to these old interviews and sources, David Preston has not signed an NDA, Sarah Fraser said during the episode. He never signed an NDA with Cody or Robyn. He's been offered thousands and thousands of dollars, not only by TLC, but numerous tabloids. But he's not interested in collecting money because he still holds out hope that he will have a relationship with his children. In other words, David Preston Jessup could certainly expose Robyn's sinister behavior over the years. But for one reason or another, he simply won't. He's since remarried and welcomed other children. However, fans agree it makes sense he might hold out hope for rekindling relationships with Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna. Sarah Fraser admitted she would happily give Jessup a platform if he wanted to speak out. Will TLC give the Sister Wives star a more honest portrayal this year? In previous tell-alls, many Sister Wives fans have accused TLC of portraying Robyn Brown dishonestly. Many commentators have accused the network of sweeping her poor behavior under the rug. But will that change this year? As viewers await for more information on the upcoming Season 19 episodes, several commentators have speculated Robyn Brown will receive quite a bit of negative attention. YouTuber Reality Esquad speculated Robyn's third relationship with Mary will ultimately be her downfall. Once Mary returned to Utah, Robyn reportedly ghosted her. Robyn Brown sat stiffly on the couch, adjusting the silver cuff bracelet on her wrist as the cameras rolled. The Sister Wives tell-all had just wrapped filming, and she could feel the weight of Cody's tense energy beside her. He was brooding, his jaw tight, his lips pressed into a thin line. The fallout from Cristin leaving had left him bitter, and Janelle's increasing independence only added to the fire. But now there was something else, a new storm brewing on the horizon, one that neither she nor Cody had anticipated. Her ex-husband, David Preston Jessup, had been offered a substantial amount of money to speak out. The tabloids were already teasing exclusive interviews, cryptic headlines promising to reveal Robyn's past secrets and the truth about her first marriage. She had spent years carefully creating her image as the devoted and dutiful fourth wife, the only one who still wanted plural marriage, the one who had been victimized by a previous relationship. But now that narrative was at risk. If David spoke out, there was no telling how much damage it would do. "You know this is ridiculous, right?" she muttered, leaning toward Cody as the crew began packing up the set. Cody let out a sharp breath through his nose, shaking his head. "The guy's a loser, Robyn. This is just another example of people trying to tear us down." She nodded, but her stomach twisted into knots. David had been silent for years, never speaking publicly about their marriage. He had been nothing more than a shadow in her story, a figure she painted as controlling, difficult, and ultimately unworthy of her love. She had done everything she could to bury that chapter of her life. But money talks, and apparently so would David. The first leak came through a gossip site. A producer from a major network had reportedly offered David 6 figures to sit down and tell this side of the story. At first, Robyn had scoffed at the idea. He had never been particularly interested in media attention. Why start now? But then, an anonymous source confirmed it. David was considering it. Panic set in. The moment she got back home to Flagstaff, She locked herself in her room and called her best ally, Mary. "Mary, I don't know what to do," Robyn said, pacing the floor. "If he starts talking, I'm finished. Everything I've built with Cody, everything I've tried to protect, it'll all come crashing down." Mary hesitated. "Well, what's he going to say? I mean, what's the worst thing he could reveal?" Robyn clenched her jaw. That was the problem. It wasn't just about him contradicting her version of events, it was about everything. The financial struggles, the messy divorce, the things she had never told Cody. Things she had never told anyone. What if he twists the truth? Robyn asked, lowering her voice. What if he makes it sound like I was the bad guy? He could make me look manipulative, controlling, like I set all of this up from the beginning. Mary was quiet for a moment. "You mean like how the other wives feel?" Robyn stopped pacing. "That's not fair." Mary sighed. "Look, I get why you're scared. But honestly, Robyn, everyone already has their opinions about you. The people who love you will still believe you. The ones who don't, they'll eat this up no matter what." Robyn knew Mary was right, but that didn't make it any easier. Days passed, and the tension in the Brown household was unbearable. Cody was furious, ranting about betrayal and outside forces trying to destroy their family. He stormed around the house, fuming, while Robyn sat glued to her phone, waiting for the inevitable bombshell. Then it happened. A preview of David's interview hit social media. "I stayed quiet for years," David's voice drawled over dramatic background music. "But I think it's time people heard the truth about Robyn Brown." The clip was only 30 seconds long, but it was enough. It hinted at financial disputes, hidden relationships, and things that would shock Sister Wives fans. Robyn felt the blood drain from her face. Cody grabbed her phone and slammed it onto the counter. "We need to fight back," he growled. "If he's gonna talk, we're gonna talk louder." The next morning, they called TLC. The network had already caught wind of the drama, and executives saw dollar signs. The idea of Robyn addressing her ex's claims on Sister Wives was too big to pass up. A special Robyn Tells All segment was scheduled to film that weekend. She spent hours preparing, rehearsing responses, going over every possible accusation David could make. But nothing could have prepared her for what came next. The full interview dropped the night before filming. David didn't just talk about their marriage, he talked about Cody. About how quickly Robyn had seemed to integrate into the family, about how their courtship had been a whirlwind, about how it felt like she had planned it all from the start. He even suggested that Robyn had been strategizing to become Cody's favorite wife long before she officially joined the family. "The way she tells it, I was this awful, controlling husband," David said. "But if you ask me, Robyn's always known exactly what she's doing." Robyn felt sick. When the cameras rolled for her interview the next day, she could barely keep her voice steady. "This is so hurtful," she sniffled, dabbing at her eyes. "I've worked so hard to move forward, to give my children a better life, and now my past is being used against me." Tears always worked in her favor, but this time there was something different. The audience had already started to turn on her, and David's words had only solidified what many had suspected for years. Cody, sitting beside her, was rigid with anger. But there was something else in his expression, something Robyn couldn't quite place. Doubt. For the first time in years, she wasn't sure if Cody believed her. And that terrified her more than anything David could ever say.